We're going to bring up your next speaker. That's going to be the wonderful, magnificent Chris James.
If you talk about how much you hate your fat, your body has been working all this time to keep you alive.
I don't think anybody in my circle understands impossible.
All right, what's going on, everybody? So today we got a special treat because I haven't done this in a very long time, but I'm definitely going to be doing more of it. We have a returning guest. Jennifer from Natural Blends is with us. She did an interview with us, like 2 months ago, maybe? I don't even know if it was that long ago.
I think it was about 2 months ago.
About 2 months ago, had an amazing impact on the community and, just blew up the comment section. I know you was in the comment section. All these people were just interacting, asking questions, shouting you out. And I decided, I'm like, look, let's have her back on. Let's do it live. Allow people the opportunity to interact, ask their own questions. So Jennifer, welcome back to the show.
Thank you for having me, Chris. I'm excited. So the last time I was on your show, I was on day 7 on fasting. So I went ahead and completed a 30-day fast. After the 7th day, we went 30. So before that, I had only gone up to 21 days. So I went above, and it was pretty amazing. We went traveling. We were in San Antonio. We went to a concert. Can you imagine fasting? I was fasting at the concert. We were fasting all through San Antonio. And let me tell you, the bill was cheap. There was not, you know how you go and eat and it's expensive and, all that stuff. We found a few juice shops out there in San Antonio, and it was fun. It was something so new for me. And I told myself, if you can get through this fast and be traveling, you got this, girl.
Oh my goodness. That is ultimate. That's incredible to be able to fast and be well into your fast and be able to perform like that. I think it speaks volumes to what we're capable of, because a lot of people like, Chris, I'm a heavy machine operator, or I do this, I do that. Can I fast? And always tell them, yes, you can. You want to be careful if you're new to fasting. You want to get your body acclimated. But once your body's acclimated to fasting, you could do some pretty incredible things while you fast. So,
we walked at least 10 miles in San Antonio.
That's
fast.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I think for a day like 22 that time.
Okay, you were deep. You were beyond your record at that time.
We were beyond our record, yes. And the most amazing part is that my husband joined me, and it was his first time fasting. And he's not a big guy, but he does have, like belly area. Face gets, like a little chunky. But he had amazing results as far as clarity. Inches were removed off of his stomach, and his face. I mean, he just he went to looking 30 years old. And we're in our 40s. So, it was really nice. And he had a lot of energy, and it was just so nice for me to be able to see at the, a male fasting, because I was just me fasting all these years. For the past 7-8 years, I've been fasting by myself. And he finally decides to jump on the fast with me. And I was just like, wow. I saw what a difference it is for when a male is fasting. Yeah.
Yeah. That's especially when your husband is fasting with you, makes a huge impact.
Yes. It was something that it is something that I'll always remember this. It's not like the other fast. Some of them I don't even want to remember.
Yeah.
uh,
True.
this one he jumped on maybe like, I want to say 4 days after I was fasting. So he was 4 days behind me, but amazing results. He lost 30 pounds in
Wow.
yeah, and he's not a big guy, you know. So I was like, whoa, he lost more with me. I was jealous.
Yeah.
I
Well,
was
when you
I was like, well, how did what? I was like, how did that happen? How did you? I was like, wow, you know, that was very. But he's a man, so men might get better results than women sometimes. So you ladies, y'all just, you know, hold tight. But for me, on the most part, I did get a lot of compliments from friends, family, and they were like, wow, you look 20 years younger. Like it literally pulled off age. I guess all the dehydration that our body, you know, because you're just being so hydrated while you're doing the juicing, and then all the inflammation is just coming off. It's tearing itself off. And I mean, you look completely different. You don't look the same. So as we were doing that, the fast, after we did the fast, we decided, you know, going, of course, directly into like watermelon and fruits, and slowly like a sweet potato, things like that. And then we did 30 days of vegan. We stayed vegan for about 30 days. And then after that, we just started moderating what we were eating. So up to this day, we have not gained a pound back.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah,
big. Yeah.
that's huge, because we took the steps of, you know, we put ourselves on basically kind of like a calorie deficit. And then when we did start putting in some of the meats, very little, not a lot, but some of it we did put back in, we decided to go into intermediate fasting. And so we would close our window by 7:30 and there was no more food. So a lot of discipline behind it. So we've had
You didn't eat snacks or anything after 7:30.
nothing, absolutely nothing, nothing. So we
Yeah.
would open it up about 12, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock when we get hungry. By 7:30, it's shut. We didn't gain a pound back. So
That's big.
yeah, it is big, because a lot of people do gain at least 10 pounds back, depending on, you know,
Hmm.
depending on the amount of weight they're losing, depending on how long they're fasting. But for us, we have not put on any weight. And as far as even through the holidays, we just, you know, went through Thanksgiving and stuff. And I was like, I did feel inflammation come in because I had some pumpkin pie, you know,
Yeah. Hmm.
but but other than that, and a little bit of bread, and I don't really eat bread. If I do, it's sourdough, because it's fermented. And so, yeah, that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's incredible. I want you all in the chat to make sure that you're paying attention to what she said, because a lot of you all, when we talk, when we interact, you guys talk about struggling with gaining weight after your fast. Imagine doing a 30-day fast, going to San Antonio, going to concerts, having this amazing success, losing this weight, and then you gain half of it back within 2-3 weeks, right? That would be very demotivating. So we have to remember that the fast is the preparation, the fasting cycle, and the refeed. Those are all important. But Jennifer, you took it a step further and you actually adopted an intermittent fasting schedule. And you're just basically being true to what you said. We start at noon, we end at 7:30,
Yeah.
and this is the result.
And I mean, there has been once or twice, a couple of times, you know, that we're celebrating a birthday party, and you know, we're not getting fed till like 8 o'clock. It's
Hmm.
okay, but just get back on it the next day. You know, just get
Yeah.
back on track. And you know, that's what we've been doing, and it's working, and that's what's working for me. Like I mentioned on the first interview, I struggled with thyroid issues for a very long time, and a lot of times, some of us don't know that we have thyroid issues, and thyroid issues play a huge role on how our metabolic system is working, how we're able to just break down fats, and also everything we eat, we gain weight, right? So I know that because I weighed 263 pounds, and throughout my journey of weight, I have always been on this, let me only eat this much, or let me, always trying to portion what I eat. And years ago, when Atkins diet came out, I don't know if y'all are familiar with Atkins diet. It was kind of like keto. That was my takeaway at one point. But the first one was actually water fasting, and I had no clue what I was doing. I had no clue. All I know is I made it, and it worked. And I was able to lose quite a bit of weight. And not only that, but I was also able to perform extremely well in a job that, it was just so demanding and so stressful. And I was able to be sharp, extremely sharp, during my fast. So that was something, that I experienced when I was a lot younger. And the juice fasting, this has been something that I feel like I don't think I'll ever stop juicing. I don't think I'll ever stop fasting. This is something that I have to do at least every 3 months. I was just telling my husband, once Christmas is over, we're back on a fast, and right now, we're going to do something just to kind of prepare us for the fast. And then we'll go into the fast again. And, it is to help lose weight as well. But for me, for all of it, it's my healing process. I love the part where there's just so much healing taking place. And I'm going to share with you, I haven't even shared this with you, Chris, but apparently I had a cyst on my ovary on the left side of my ovary. I had a cyst. Okay. That was during the fast. It was like this, boom, boom, boom. I was like, what is this? What's bothering me? I kept saying, oh my gosh, my hip is in pain. I must need a nutrient or something. I was thinking that. So anyway, I went and got it checked out. It was a cyst. It popped during the fast. Amazing, right?
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. So there was something, it shot it out. It said, get out of here. Basically, what was going on in my body, because I've had problems with reproductive issues. So I had fibroids before. I had, a cyst on my ovaries, heavy bleeding, all types of reproductive issues, right? And I felt that, and I didn't think about it till afterwards, but that's what happened. The body was healing, and it was getting rid of the actual cyst that was there. So,
wow.
like amazed. I was, I'm not kidding you. At one point, I think it was like on my last days, I said, I think I might have to go to the ER. And I said, Jennifer, let's wait one more time. Put a little bit of castor oil out there all around it, put a heating pad, wait it. It was a cyst. It popped.
Wow.
I was just amazed. I was excited. I said, wow, this is, I have to document this, obviously. So,
for sure.
Yeah.
How many women are dealing with infertility issues, reproductive issues, just menstrual issues that are related to cysts and fibroids? And basically what you just said was through fasting, you started that process of healing. And I know through diet and everything, you can maintain it. So if there's someone listening right now who is dealing with reproductive issues or just heavy periods, that means fasting is potentially a very good solution.
Let me tell you, there was another reason. part of my fasting took place because there was some heavy bleeding that was abnormal to me, and I said to myself, I had already did this before. Like I said, I've been fasting for like 7-8 years. I've already lost track, but I said, you know what? I'm going to fast, and I'm going to see how much estrogen is being made up with the food, right? So I'm like, I'm taking notes on my body, right? And when my cycle did come in, it was perfect. No pain, nothing once,
Wow.
light, no heaviness, no headache, nothing right before that. So fasting is a great tool to use if you want to weigh out, like say you've been told that you can't have babies, or
Mm.
you have a cyst, and that's why you're not able to get pregnant, or you have
Mhm.
you are going to want to start a fast, and you're going to want to document how you feel, and you're going to want to do the castor oil packs. You're going to want to do castor oil packs, and you're going to want to drink the most cleanest water that you can find. And you're going to want to wash all your veggies really, really good. You want to be real clean about this, and no plastic. Stay away from perfume, soaps. You just do everything organic as much as
Mhm.
possible. Let your body detoxify from that, and you are going to see amazing results. And then get your cortisol levels down.
For
You
sure.
got to keep the cortisol levels down, and that's definitely going to help you jump over to seeing how much the body can heal itself when you give it the right conditioning to your body, when you give it the right things, what it needs. And a lot of times our body is just full of toxins, environmental stressors. We have physical stressors. If you suffer with pain, you're in a physical stress. If you have mental, emotional trauma, anything that has to do from being in traumatic relationships, traumatic events that you've
Mhm.
seen, that's a lot of stress, right? And our body is trying to repair itself. And when you put in all this food that has chemicals and that's been man-made, you're just overloading the body with more stress. So this body's just like, what do help me out here. I can't do it by myself. So it gets tired, and then the liver starts to get sluggish, and that's why we start putting on that cortisol belly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope you all are listening, because it's rare. It's more rare for us to have a woman come on, talk about her experience, especially as it relates to, the things that are specific to the woman, the womb, reproductive issues, cycles. I know this information, but to hear it from a woman, from her first hand account, I think is amazing. So
Yeah.
let's.
So one of the time when I first started my fasting journey as well, it had be I'm not a person who believes in surgery. I mean, I know that some people do need it, but if I feel like if you can first put in and see if we can try not to have surgery, let's try that. Let's go that route first, right? Let's try the natural route. And so I'm all about that. But I know that I know people that they need surgery and stuff like that. But when I was told 12 years ago that I needed to have a hysterectomy, even though I already had my children, um, I was totally like, no, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Like I don't want my hormones whacked, or
Right.
they're already whacked. Like, let me see what I can do to help them. And so I started doing my research, and I have gotten amazing results from having 9 fibroids to having 2. That's pretty
Mm.
amazing.
It's huge.
No surgery, no, nothing, just supplementing, juicing, castor oil packs. And I'm not like super consistent on the castor oil packs, but when I start feeling in my reproductive system, you can feel like a contraction type of feeling. If you got fibroids, you know what I'm talking about. You start feeling like this pull, and then it starts pulling on your leg. And I'm like, oh, it's time for a castor oil pack, you know? Yeah, this is the time to hit it, basically.
So you use the castor oil pack as your cycle is coming on to help ease it. Is that
Yeah.
like the prime? Okay.
And also so that it's not, I guess, angry. You know, like calm it down some way.
Right.
It down. That's what it does. And then I guess since it gets calm, it's, you know, it starts shrinking. You know.
God.
Yeah. So I like doing that. It really helps. And I believe I told you guys on my last, or for those of you who didn't get to watch that interview, you know, I also had them in my breast, and I don't have any in my breast anymore. They're gone. So
Yes.
it's truly amazing how the body can heal itself when you give it what it needs.
Exactly.
Because our food does not have the minerals that we need. You know, and the doctors are not going to tell you when you go to the doctor and you're like, oh, I'm suffering with headaches. I don't know why I'm having headaches. They're not going to say, well, maybe you should uptake your minerals. Yeah, here's some Tylenol, here's some ibuprofen.
Right.
Go home.
Go about your business.
Yeah, so that's what, you know, juicing just does so much to the body. It gives you all those minerals, and even water fasting. It just creates a whole new environment in your body. It gets rid of all that junk that's in there. So
yeah, fasting is one of those tools you could use to have an impact on so many different things. And like, you don't even have to go into it knowing that fasting is going to heal this thing, but if you put your intention on healing whatever specific ailment you might be dealing with, you do time and intention, you will see an impact. You're going to see a benefit.
I've seen miracle after miracle, but this is like you said, people with true intention that want this. You have to want it. It's just like anything else. You really, if you want to lose weight, you got to want it. You know, it has to be, it's not going to be from one day to the next. You know, it takes time. It does require discipline. It does require a change of mindset, you know, and you just got to be ready for it. And once you dive in, there's no turning back. You know, you can't, because if you do, you will gain weight back, you know? And so that's why for me, when I do a fast and hey, I lost 10, 15 pounds, whatever, I don't care how much weight I lose, but whatever the amount is, I make sure that weight's not coming back on.
Right.
It's not. If anything, when I do the next one, there will be another 15 pounds off, and that weight's not coming back, you know? So I want to hit 50 and feel like, you know, I'm not struggling to walk. You know what I mean?
Right. Someone just mentioned juicing could cause too much sugar intake. Do you have any thoughts on the sugar?
I do have some thoughts on sugar. Actually, I had did a TikTok, and someone made fun of my TikTok and said, oh, you're just putting in pure sugar into your body. And I was like, well, that's kind of funny because it's not refined sugar. So this is fruit sugar. You know, our body is made to break that sugar down. Now, if you're juicing and you're a diabetic, I think most of the time what people eat as diabetics is far way worse than, you know, I think juicing is a cure for diabetes, to be honest.
Oh, for sure. We've seen it.
Yeah, that's my that. And we're actually on diabetes awareness month, by the way.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. So as far as fruits, no, I don't see it a problem. If you feel it's a problem for yourself, then I would recommend that you juice a lot of greens. I mean, it's really good for you. Yeah. Add
Yeah.
one green apple, you know. Uh, it depends it depends on what you're able to take. I personally, when I did my juicing, I'll juice watermelon and drink straight watermelon juice. I'll juice a little bit of papaya, a little bit of pineapple, and some celery, and I'll drink that. So I change up my juices. I don't just juice the whole. I do juice mostly green, but when I get kind of bored, I'll put in a few of those juices. But yeah, I don't really see a big problem as far as fruits being juiced.
Yeah, outcomes are important, everybody. So obviously, there's information that's being pushed through the mainstream sources. You guys always got to take information from mainstream with a grain of salt because there's always an agenda behind it. I'm not saying that it's automatically right or wrong, but what I'm saying is do your due diligence because this is your health and wellness journey, and you can't put it in the hands of a business. Businesses are for profit. Okay, so if you guys look at just we have testimonials where people talk about being a type 2 diabetic, doing fasting and using juice, and not being a type 2 diabetic anymore. How do
Yep.
you do that? Right? If it's too much sugar, if the sugar's bad for you, the body processes the sugar from fruit completely different than it does refined sugar. So
Mm,
we're not comparing apples to apples here.
mm-mm.
Um, I
It's
did
like
want to.
get one Coke. This is and there's a research done on this. One Coke is equivalent to 5 apples. Okay, on the sugar. Now that still does not. Um, the apples obviously are still better for you, but even at that, when you drink one Coke, your body is getting straight sugar. It's refined sugar versus eating 5 apples that still have to be metabolized. They have fiber, it's a complete different.
Right. The package is different.
Oh yeah, completely.
Yeah. Yeah. And I find that happens a lot with diabetics. They're scared to eat fruit, but they will eat a cookie every once in a while. You know,
Mhm.
they'll have a Snickers bar, but apple or pineapple, no, I can't have that. And it's just like, let's be honest here. Why do you even want to live in a world where you can't eat fruit? Like, first of all fruit is not sweet. There's low glycemic fruit, right? Bell peppers, avocados, squash, etc., etc. Second of all, this is a natural food, but we have been tricked into believing that processed food, I don't care what kind of processed food it is, in no world is processed food. I'm talking about the refined stuff that we buy from the grocery store. It's not going to be better than an apple growing on a tree. Like
No.
that doesn't make sense logically. And even if you guys are into keto or carnivore or whatever the case may be, and you eat a lot more meat, what do you think your meat is eating? Like your meat is eating the apples off the tree. Like
Your meat is eating grass.
it's eating grass. It's eating. So
We're
your
right?
your
Hoping.
your meat is getting its nutrition from the plants that you think are bad for you.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's just a different way to look at it. But
I,
did you want to give us a little bit of background on your story, just kind of like summarizing the beginning, middle, and end of, or not end, but the where you are, so that people kind of have an idea where you came from. Because
yeah.
okay, cool.
So what started me actually into my health? I've always been a little conscious of my health because I have suffered with a rare blood type of condition my entire life, and it's a rare blood cancer. And so I did not know I had that until later on in life, right? But as I'm going through life, I sustained a horrible accident. And this is my second accident that I sustained. And so when this happened, there was a huge change in my body. I started having tons of pain. My gut there was a lot of gut issues. I've always had gut issues since I was younger. And then I was having, I guess, midlife women, you know, as our women, our bodies change. I started developing fibroids. I started developing tumor growth. I had in my thyroid, I had it in my breast, I had it in my uterus, I had one even in my knee. So I was just like, what the heck is going on in my body? And at the time I was being put on medications, and I was put on all types of medications, from antidepressants to painkillers to pills for your stomach. You know, there was just a lot of different medications. I want to say at least 14 different types of medications. And I literally saw my life like I was going to die. I felt like I was going to die. And at this time, I have a 4-year-old child that needs me because I'm a single parent at that time. I was a single parent, and I'm like, what am I going to do when, you know, my 4-year-old son is having to help me, which I'm supposed to be taking care of him? You know, this can't happen. And so I started doing my research, and I had already begun doing my research, but I started doing my research little by little. And I came across this lady who had very symptoms of, or she had fibromyalgia, and I had been told that I had fibromyalgia. So I'm here in excruciating pain. I can't do anything. Mentally, I'm fogged. Super smart person, but I'm fogged. So what's the point of, you know, being smart, but you're super fogged? And I'm like, what am I going to do? And so the first thing I started doing was juicing. I started supplementing. I started taking a lot of ginger, a lot. I used ginger as a painkiller for myself. I got rid of all the medications. I flushed everything. I said, no more. This is it. I'm going to take control of my life. I am going to be my own doctor. I'm going to be an advocate for myself. And if I have to go through withdrawals or whatever it is that I have to go through, it does not matter, because I know the outcome is going to be so much better. So I had already been labeled disabled. So many things had already happened. And as I'm going through my journey of healing, I like to document. I mean, I'll be writing all day long. I like to write everything down because it helps me remember, and it takes me back to that place, and I'll forget it. Like, hey, remember that time when you couldn't even put on your own clothing? Remember the time that, you know, you were not able to walk from here to here without your legs and ankles giving out on you. So all that brings me back. And that's what started my natural healing journey. And since then, it's been, this was in 2011. We're 2023. It's been a while. So after that, I worked with my mom. She was diagnosed with 4th stage lung cancer. And I helped her with, you know, supplementing natural, putting good stuff into her body, juices, all types of things. And I just continued doing it and learning more and more. And I grew very passionate about how much I had healed, how much hair I had on my head, because I used to have really, really short, I hardly had any hair. You know, my skin looked horrible. I had very rough, patchy skin it looked like sores on my face. And it was incredible. The healing journey was incredible. And then I started taking classes, and I'm a certified herbalist now. I'm a holistic coach, and this is what I'm doing now. This actually, January will be my first year of full commitment to natural blends. So I'm excited.
Congratulations.
Because I was working my other job, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm doing it. I'm doing it, and I'm doing it to help people, and to help people know that there's hope out there, And just because you get a diagnosis from a doctor does not mean that that's where it ends. You know, you have to take control of your body, and you have to say, I am my own doctor, you know, and you have to truly believe that you can heal and you will heal. And that's what I believe, and I stand by that, because I will never forget how sick I felt and how much pain I did endure. And it was an ongoing thing. And not only that, it's not just about what I was feeling, but it's also about my family and how this was affecting my household, my children's mentality, seeing me thrown in bed sick, teenagers, their mother sick, being young, seeing my 4-year-old seeing his mom sick. That's not a nice picture. You know, if you have a partner and they're by your side, that's not healthy for them either. You know, so it's like all together, you want to try your best to be an advocate for yourself, and juicing and putting, you know, the right things into your body. I believe it's going to be something that you will thank your future self for later. Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
that's part of my story. I did have thyroid issues, and I think I think the scariest part was just like, where are all these tumors coming from?
Mm,
You know, that kind of was like, oh shoot, like what's going on? But apparently, you know, the body is going to try to protect itself from something, right? So if it's getting too much estrogen, or testosterone, progesterone, whatever it may be, whatever hormone it is, right? If your thyroid is dysfunctioned, and your thyroid, when you go to the doctor, excuse me, when you go to the doctor and they do the blood test for your thyroid, and you have all the symptoms, you pretty much know you have thyroid issues, right? But the blood work keeps on coming out fine, right?
right.
And a lot of people that, you know, I teach this to my clients. I tell them, look, how do you feel? Okay. Let's examine what exactly is going on. How do you feel? Don't go based on the blood work, because the blood work says you look fine. you know
Right.
and I can tell you that my blood work looked fine for years. I had platelets that were a little high. Oh, you're fine. Oh, people get high platelets, and their red blood cells are sometimes low, and oh, that's fine. You're fine. Well, I wasn't fine. I had a rare blood disorder that could have caused me to have a stroke, or I could have had a heart attack, and then find out about this rare blood disease, right?
Right.
Good thing I was taking turmeric. Good thing I take ginger.
Mm,
Good thing I take cayenne.
mm,
I've always believed in natural blood thinners. I saw my dad suffer from a stroke. I said, I don't want to have a stroke. you know, so just knowing and being an advocate for yourself is going to be your best bet. If you go out there and you just let the doctors tell you, you're fine, and you know that there's something off, then you need to do a little more work on yourself. You need to spend time, because at the end of the day, when we die, we don't take anything with us. Okay. So if you're working to have the best home or the best car, none of that's going, you know. So the best thing you can do is live your life the best you can, with the healthiest lifestyle, a healthy mental health, mental state. It's extremely important. and the only thing that you can give back is you can give back to the people here that are living right now, or to your children, your family. That is what you leave behind. And so that's my goal. My goal is to leave behind for my children. Hey, my mom, she advocated for herself. She took care of herself. She tried when the doctor said no. She said yes, and so that has been something that I truly believe that, we should take that into consideration and practice it more than anything. And as far as what I was going to say about the thyroid, what I learned, and this is for people who have hypothyroidism, or they think they may have hypothyroidism. Hypothyroidism, you normally will feel cold. Your hair will be like really brittled. You'll lose hair in patches of your head and your head. You will also have like a different, maybe one eye looks a little bigger than the other eye, or sometimes they kind of like one smaller. Also, there's foggy brain. There's sometimes anxiety that comes with it. And then, what was I going to say? Fatigue, feeling tired for no reason. And so when that is going on, I do recommend that you get a thermometer. For those of you who don't know, maybe some of you know, get a thermometer and check your temperature every morning. Every morning, check that temperature. If the temperature is below, I believe, don't quote me, I haven't done my research. I mean, it's been a while, right? But this is when I found out that I had thyroid problems. The doctors did not know. I kept telling them, I think I have a thyroid problem. When they discovered I had a thyroid problem, I had a nodule in my thyroid already.
Oh, wow.
Yes. And it still didn't come out on the blood work that I had thyroid problems. But I told them, I know I have a thyroid problem. Anyway, and also your voice will change when you have a thyroid problem. So one thing is that you want to check your temperature. Always check your temperature. Every morning, do that. And then you want to take or eat foods that are higher in iodine, okay? If you're not taking iodine, don't listen to what's on YouTube about, if you take too much iodine, don't believe that, okay? Believe me, you are not going to overdose on iodine. It's I don't know. I know there's a lot of confusion with what is put out there. I supplemented with sea moss. I supplemented with spirulina and ashwagandha. That's what I took to help my thyroid. Would it help your thyroid? I don't know, because you have a complete different body. But that's what worked for me, right? Throughout that process of learning my thyroidism and how it was affecting my weight, there is such a difference. You will know when your thyroid is working, because your thyroid regulates the temperature in your body. So if you're always feeling cold and you need like a jacket on, or you go to work and you need like a cardigan, ladies, and you're always with a cardigan on, you might want to look into that thyroid problem. Okay. And if you're having problems losing weight. So that's my advice as far as thyroid. Cold hands, cold feet. Sometimes you may get the chills because your temperature is like this. It's not. It doesn't know how to regulate itself. The hormone is off, and usually that happens when you have adrenal fatigue. Adrenal fatigue is going to cause that. Adrenal fatigue is going to cause you to have a low thyroid. Okay. So if you're always under stress or you're always overdoing it, if you're an overdoer, and I know a lot of people are out there, they're overdo. I'm an overdoer. Okay. I used to be an overdoer, but I've learned to put balance in my life because I have to. This is, you only get to live once. I have to. And I don't want my kids to see me sick. So that's why I've chosen to put more balance, give myself the rest that I need. And for those of you who are overdoing it out there, take some time, give some self-care, give yourself love on yourself, you know, make yourself, if you're not doing a juice fast, just make yourself a juice. You're going to feel better. I promise you. Even having a juice a day. And I do that. Like I do intermediate fasting. I won't eat. I'll have my juice in the daytime and then I'll have one meal. That's it. You know, and then water all day. And it works amazing. So, you know, those are just some tips. I can't really see some of the comments, but if there's any questions, I can answer questions.
I got some questions starred here. So
okay, great. Let's do it.
They want to know more specifically about your fasting regimen and what you do. So earlier you were talking about your most recent fast. How many days did you do most recently?
It was 30 days.
And was that water, juice, or what kind of fast was that?
I did water and juice, and mainly it was green juice. So when we went to San Antonio, I juiced us some gallons of juice, and I took it with us, you know.
Okay.
And then when we got to San Antonio, I had to find a juice shop, and I was at the juice shop, and I was like, I wonder if they're washing my veggies. And my husband was like, what? I said, I wonder if they're washing my veggies properly, you know. That's going to defeat the whole, I was like, that's defeating my juicing journey. But yeah, 30 days, I did green juice, I did water, I did herbal teas, I take supplements. I do supplement during my fast, quite a bit. And I do have one kidney. So I do watch myself pretty well, because having one kidney, you know, it can be, it can be harmful, but I've done it for 7 years, and I'm here to tell you that it's safe, even if you have one kidney. For me, at least for myself, right? But yeah, that's what I do during my fast. If there was a time in my fast that I need to eat, or if there was no juice around, it would definitely be watermelon, right? But so far it's been juice. That's basically what it's been. It's green juice. I use kale, a little bit of celery, some celery, cucumber, some green apple, some turmeric, some ginger. You know, I go all out. Some parsley. Sometimes I'll even put a habanero pepper in there, give it a little spicy taste.
Spicy, yeah.
Yeah, well, I take all the seeds off, and then, you know, my husband's Hispanic, so I'm Hispanic too, but you know, he's more Hispanic than me. Like salsa, right? Like he likes that, right? So, you know, I told him, how about a Mexican juice? He said, yeah, let's try it. So we played around with the juices, and but the green one is going to be your best one. You know, I did watermelon juice, especially when I needed a good, those days where you're feeling a little down, that's when you drink your watermelon juice.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
When you were telling your story earlier, you had mentioned a cyst. You were missing a cyst, and you mentioned something in your breast. Someone was asking, what was it that was in your breast?
I had a tumor in my breast.
A tumor. Okay.
Yeah, there was a tumor. I've had 3 tumors in my breast, and they're all gone. Thank you.
They're all gone, people.
They're all gone.
Yeah.
Yes.
Listen up, because I mean, isn't breast cancer awareness is next month, right?
No, that was in October.
That was October. So we just did breast cancer awareness. Yes. So for what? Decades we've been doing this fight against breast cancer, and you're beating it, right? You're constantly knocking it back down. So
right. because I refuse to accept any type of illness in my body. So, and I know that if you put the work into it, you will get the results. So you got to do it, you know, and you gotta believe. You got to believe that you are healed first, right? And then you apply everything else.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. So you did kind of already do this, but somebody was asking to go over your actual fasting regimen. So I'm assuming that you've done different types of fasts.
Oh yeah.
Do you want to maybe like summarize some of the fasting you do on a regular basis?
Okay. When I do a fast, normally the fast, it'll be 21 days, and I'm going to give you guys the reason why 21 days. For females, this is some good information for you ladies, because it's really hard to fast for a woman, because we have for a 30 days, because, and this is something I documented this last time, because our sugar drops a certain time of the month. Okay. And it's kind of hard to fast during that time, because you will have sugar drops because of our hormone, right? So the best time to fast for women, it's going to be as soon as you start your menstrual cycle. The first day, you're going to start fasting right there. And then you're going to end your fast 21 days out, you know, right there, right? If you're doing a 21 day, I'm just saying, if you're going to do it for 90 days, I mean, yeah, drink the watermelon juice during the sugar drops, right? I've done it. I know what it is, right? So I listen to my body, and I do take supplements. I take a lot of spirulina. And the reason I take the spirulina is because it has protein in it. It has a lot of good nutrients as far as vitamin B's. And since I personally have a problem with absorbing certain vitamin B's due to a genetic mutation, I take it for that reason. That's why I take it. You see, I'm not saying that everybody needs to take it. I'm just saying why I take it. And so it helps me through my fast. I do a lot of ginger. I mean, ginger is just, if you guys don't know about ginger, I know a lot of people, y'all watch it. Y'all watch a lot of videos and stuff. But if you go to ginger, I have it written down here. It literally dies off symptoms in your body. Okay. And then it helps you reabsorb nutrients in the body. It helps everything move around, because it's thermogenic, you know, it's heat. So it's moving the lymphatic system. It provides enzymes, good enzymes, right? And then it's anti-parasitic. It helps you lose weight. It helps with oxidative stress. It prevents cancer. It helps osteoporosis. And it's a natural pain reliever. So if you're doing a fast, you definitely want a natural pain reliever, because you are going to get some pains and aches. That's part of the fast, right? So adding ginger to your juice, I say, is a big plus. If you can't get used to the taste, try a supplement.
I love ginger.
Me too.
I love it. And I'm gonna give y'all a cool way to play with ginger. I make these homemade sodas, and one of the first homemade sodas that we actually made was ginger and lemon juice. Is like you boil it. You boil the lemons with the skin and everything. Boil it with ginger, some a thumb of ginger, a little bit of ginger, and then you take that infused water, and you it becomes a concentrate essentially, and you could sweeten it. Use whatever your favorite natural sweetener would be, or you don't have to. You don't have to. And then you add some. I'll use a Topo Chico, because I just think the Topo Chicos are like very crisp. You like Topo Chicos?
Yeah.
And Yeah, you just add it to that and it gives it that little bubbly, and it's like a homemade soda. And it's a cool way to get some ginger in. Um, Ginger shots, obviously, if you just want to get it out the way, you know.
Mhm.
But yeah, you can figure it out. I like ginger though, so I'm not probably not the best person.
I love ginger, and ginger. When I first started taking ginger was like I was using it for pain, but I also was using it for weight loss. So if you learn how to incorporate ginger into your diet, I mean, it does a lot
Yeah.
for your body, a lot.
We had a couple more.
Okay.
So do you have loose skin, or what was your experience with loose skin?
No, I don't have loose skin. If I have maybe like a little bit in my arm area, but I think that's from age. I don't think that's from the fast. I don't think that's from fasting. I don't have loose skin. When when I first lost my weight, I did have some because I had just had a child, and I went into completely into basically a water fast. And when I gained about 15 pounds back. And I've always been a very active person. So I would exercise. I'd go for walks with my kids. We go to the park, cleaning up, just moving around. And I've always been a water drinker. I drink a lot of water. So I think that might have helped with not having the loose skin. I know juicing helps with not having loose skin. When I did this last fast, I said I did, I measured myself with measuring tape. I checked everything, right? Skin, everything. I said, okay, let's see. I want to see because my son, he lost 120 pounds and he did have loose skin. And
Mm.
so I was trying to help him get rid of the loose skin. He didn't have a lot, but he did have some, right? And I told him, I kept telling him, I said, Joshua, if you juice, you will not have loose skin. And he didn't believe me. Now now he tells me, Mom, I want to do the juicing with you. Once I get a break for the holidays. I said, Josh, you want to juice? We'll juice in the holidays. That's fine.
Yeah.
So because he's worked so hard not to have loose skin, and he does have some, but not very much. Me, I did not get loose skin. No.
Yeah, well, the method that you lose the weight matters a lot, and your hydration levels. As you lose the weight, your hydration levels are very important. So,
Yes.
um,
You see,
okay, I had
that's one thing that I noticed that he did. My son, I started him off, and he was drinking like almost a gallon of water a day. And then he said, Mom, I'm gonna cut out half of the water I'm drinking because it's making me gain weight. And I was like, that's kind of awkward, but okay. I said, I don't see how water is making you gain weight, but so he's really, really like into his, getting. He went from 280 to 160. So he's the whole time he's asking me for advice and stuff. And so when he told me that, I said, I would not recommend that, Joshua, for you to cut your water and replace it with food. I said, I don't recommend that.
right.
Maybe he should have listened and continued drinking water.
Well,
Right.
children, right?
Right.
People got to do things their own way.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I did have a question about, I guess, our fasting challenge. Do you have to pay to fast with AHA? So I want to do my best to be clear with this. We offer a lot of free resources. Obviously, you guys have the content here on YouTube. You've got the Facebook group. If you guys want to fast with us, the probably the best way to do it is through AHA communities. So if you guys go to ahacommunities.com, or think you have to put the www in. There's something weird about it, but www.ahacommunities.com. You can fast with us for free. Now, if you want to be a part of one of our programs, yes, there is a cost to that. And actually, we have a 21-day challenge coming up starting December 3rd. And so if you guys would wanted to do that, yes, there is a fee for that, because you're getting course curriculum, you're getting live streams from the coaches, you're getting PDF guides, you're getting a lot with that, and it's in a concentrated format. So it's really up to you to what type of support do you need. Do you need something very specific, and do you need a lot of accountability? You need a group? Do you need a lot of support? Or are you kind of a self-starter? You could do it on your own. You just kind of need the direction, depending on which way that you want to approach it. So I'll put the link for that in the chat for anybody who does want to join our 21-day challenge. And then there was one more question that was to me about hairline. Question: did fasting help your hairline grow back thicker? So it's hard for me to answer that question, because the last time I grew my hair was when I was 19. So when I was 19, my hair was probably very different than how my hair is now. I never noticed that I had any issues with my hairline, but what I did notice is that I had issues with certain patches above my temples and my crown. And what fasting did was, for 100%, it stopped the digression. Like, it stopped my hair from getting worse, from thinning to the point where it started balding or anything of that nature. But I can't say that it necessarily made it grow back thicker or anything of that nature. And that's just me. That was just my experience. Other people, I'm sure Jennifer's probably had, I know you had some experience with hair that was different from mine, but also you supplement, right?
Yes, but during the fast, I did have hair, my hair was falling, some of it. And I was like, oh my gosh, what's going on? Right. It was for the first few days, but I don't know if, well, you wouldn't be able to tell, but from the last time that I was interviewed till now, you can see there's a lot more hydration in my hair, I would want to say. I don't have nothing on, like, oils or anything in my hair to make it look shiny, or I don't have chemicals or anything in my hair. This is just my hair. I did know that a lot of my hair in this area started growing, and that's because I've had issues with my hair. I think it's called Appalachia right here, since I was a kid. So I noticed that some hair did, like, I have baby hair coming out. So everything, your whole body, it just heals completely. Your entire body. If you do a fast for at least the 21 days, you're going to see a huge difference in your body. And my husband had on his toenail, like, an injury, like where he had smashed it from years ago. And he noticed that the whole nail, like, repaired itself completely as it was growing out. So we did a lot of, like, documenting. There was a lot of healing going on, even though there was weight coming off. There was healing that was just happening, and I was able to see that again. So it was awesome. Super awesome.
It's very important that you all pay attention to the healing outside of just the weight loss, because you're going to see way more than, because weight loss is one thing, right? But then it's like hair and clarity of mind and liver being repaired, so your toenail fungus is going away, and thyroid issues. Like, you want to pay attention to your body holistically as best you can, and not just focus on the weight loss, because that's, like, in my opinion, the icing on the cake.
Yeah. My son even told me, he said, Mom, your teeth are like one shade lighter. I said, Really?
Yes, they will. Yep.
Your teeth are getting lighter. He's like, wow. So even they were able to see it a little bit more because they're older, right? So they're paying attention. When they're little,
Mhm.
when your kids are little, they're like, what are they doing? Right. But yeah, so there was a lot of healing going on. I noticed that even with the weight loss was awesome. Um, but for me, I'm all about the healing part, on my part. I like the
Mhm.
weight loss too, and it helps, but you're going to get both of it if
Mhm.
you pay attention, because
Yeah.
you might not think of it, but like me, I have a little problem with my vision sometimes. Like I'll have like what are they called? Floaters,
Mhm.
or sometimes it has to do with my blood, right? So anyway, when I was fasting, I was just like, wow, I didn't need my bifocals.
Yeah, that's huge. That's
I
huge.
my readers. I didn't need my
Yeah.
readers. Like, wow. So there's so much healing that happens, during a fast, you guys. And I really encourage you, if you haven't tried a fast, you need to try this. It's life changing. It's something that you can share with your family and with your friends and the people that are surrounded by you. It's just such a positive impact. People would cheer you on too. And if they're not cheering you on, stay back.
Yeah.
You want the people that are cheering you on because this is something good for you and your body needs it. It really does. Yes.
Does fasting heal skin issues such as eczema?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yep.
That's a definite, and I can vouch for that one because my son has psoriasis and he has fasted. My son is the actual, I have three sons, so I don't want to confuse you guys. I have three
Okay.
sons. But my oldest son, he follows you. He started following you, Chris, and he did the water. When you put the distilled water out in the
The
sun.
sun-charged water, yeah. Mhm.
Yeah, he did that. I said, "What?" I said, "What are you doing, Robert?" And he's like, "Well, I found this guy, and he's telling me that." And I'm just like, "Why don't you just juice fast with me?" And he's like, "No, it's different." And I was like, "All right, all right. I respect what you're doing." And his psoriasis cleared up within a week, and they were bad.
Mm.
They were bad. Like he shedded a whole layer off of his skin. And
Wow.
like, wow. Yeah. So he's done juice fasting with me, but I just thought the water part, what he was doing, he bought these glass jars, and I mean he had a whole setup, and I was just like, where is he? I go, who are you following, Robert? Oh, it's called Healthy Alternative. You should follow them, and he's the one who even told me you should reach out and share your story with them. And he was just encouraging me to share my story because he had been listening to all the stories that had been shared, and he thought my story was a great story too. So
Shout
that's
out
how.
to Robert.
Yeah. Yeah. So he did do that water fasting, and it does clear up psoriasis. Now, if you have psoriasis or eczema, you need to be mindful about, there might be some foods that you might have allergies to. So,
Mhm.
especially if it's very acidic. So you would definitely want to try, I would say you would either want to go with a water fast, or you would want to go with like maybe two different types of, like, either cucumber and watermelon. Like, don't put too much stuff in your juice is what I'm trying to say,
Gotcha.
because you want to find out if it's going to irritate, like which fruit or vegetable you may be allergic to, because a lot
Mhm.
of it is allergy and it's gut issue. Psoriasis,
Gotcha.
eczema, that's where it comes from the gut.
Yep, you're right.
Yes.
So now you had mentioned to me off camera that you have a program that you offer to people, and you're going to be starting coming up here in December. So you want to talk about that briefly?
Sure. So I have a program. It's called 21 Days with Natural Blends. which that's me. And so what this program, it's basically a smoothie program along with, I'll give you an example. So on day one, well, actually, I give you a grocery list, and the grocery list is for 7 days. You go buy all the groceries that are on that list, and that is going to prepare you for 2 different types of smoothies. And these smoothies contain different. Every smoothie is different, so you won't get bored of it. And you'll have 1 smoothie for breakfast, and then for lunch you'll have a meal that I'll give you advice on which meal, or I'll share recipes on what meals you can make. And then you will have a snack of 150 calories. And then you'll have another smoothie, and then you'll have another snack. Most of my clients who do this, they're like, I wasn't able to put in the last smoothie because I was so full. Yeah, you are going to get full, because we're filling the body with good fibers, vegetables, a lot of fruit, a lot of vegetables, lean meats. And for those of you who are vegans, you don't have to put meat. I don't do meat. I'll do beans. I do quinoa and beans, black beans. That's basically lentils. I eat a lot of lentils. And so that's how the program goes. It on the 7th day, you get 1 cheat day. Every 7 days, you get a cheat day. So out of the 21 days, you get 3 cheat days. And on those cheat days, I do remind you to be very mindful and not to go over 2,500 calories, right? Because what the program is what it's for is just to get you to change your mindset on what you're eating. And then I educate you on what you're consuming. So let's say you're consuming a banana. I'm educating you what the banana is doing for your body. If you're going to be using kale, I'll educate you with the vitamins that kale have and what it's doing for your body. And so that's how the program basically goes. And I do have that program available, and I will be starting December 3rd. And for whatever reason, if I have to switch it, it'll be after Christmas. But I always have that running over. Like, I'm always doing them, because sometimes I'll do the program with 2 people, and I do it because I'm doing it for myself as well. But even if it helps 1 or 2 people, they get the results that they wanted, and that's the whole point, is that they get the results, that they stay on it, and they stay motivated, and then they remember their why they're doing this. And it's to get them to the next level of knowing how to eat healthy without being forced to do smoothies. So once they're not doing the smoothie, they'll be like, man, I just love the crunch of an apple. And I'm like, yeah, I bet you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
how do people contact you, or how would they sign up for that?
So I don't have an actual hyperlink for that. So I guess the best way would be to text me to my phone number, and then I could create like a group chat. I do have my Facebook. They could contact me through Facebook. I have my Natural Blends page.
Yeah, let's give out those. Let's not give out your phone number right here. We'll do those Instagram, Facebook.
Woman.
I'm gonna save you from yourself real quick. We'll do Facebook, Instagram, and then if you want to give them the number at that point, you could do that. Okay.
Yeah, you can just do Instagram. It's Natural Blends, and then it's __. I can type it in the chat, I guess.
Yeah, type it in the chat if you can. Natural Blends __. And then you can DM her, and you can get linked up if you guys want to do the 21 days.
Yeah, and this would actually prepare you guys as well to get into a full-blown fast. And when I say that, I'm not talking about 30 days. I'm talking about you know, really getting in there and doing some cleanup.
Yeah,
Yeah. You know,
absolutely.
start with your 21 day and then they can take it. Well, what is your longest fast that you guys have, Chris?
Yeah, so we do a 21-day cap. That's the longest we do.
Okay. Yeah. So, um, yeah, that would definitely help them get to that. That would be like that would be something they could do to start them up, and they're going to lose weight. And then after they're done with their 21-day fast, they would have an idea of how to keep that weight off. Because that, if you follow the the protocol, well, if someone was to join, if someone joins me, I teach them how to keep the weight off. You know,
Mhm.
to me, that's very important,
Yeah,
right? It's keep,
100%.
yeah, because um as far as my Facebook, I could just put here natural blends. I think they should be good with the Instagram though.
Yeah, we'll give it to them just in case.
Um, yeah, and if not, they can find me on Facebook. I'll put my first and last name. But yeah,
Okay.
it's it's a little different. It's different from juicing. Um, I'm doing it on December 3rd with or without anyone.
Mhm.
But me and my husband are doing it because we're going to prepare for a fast. We're going to try to surpass the 30 days.
Okay.
Yeah, so we want to try it, and it's, I guess, I mean, yeah, it's for the weight loss too, but it's really for me, it's more about the health. I
Yeah.
want to see how I've been. I want to. I have some injuries that I had from my ankles and my knees, and here in my jaw, it gets real tight, and I want to see how much fasting, how much repair can happen during my fast.
A lot.
Yeah.
Um, can you talk about the benefits if using castor oil with fasting? Is
Sure. So when you use castor oil while fasting, one, you're definitely going to get better benefits from that because the the way castor oil absorbs into the body, castor oil is extremely thick, so it
Yeah.
does take time to get into the layers, right? So if castor oil is trying to get into the layer, let's say right here you got a tumor, right? And you're trying to get castor oil in there. If you're fasting, the inflammation around, it's not there. Okay.
Mm.
Your inflammation levels are, I mean, 100% down, depending on what day you're on, right?
Mhm.
So it's going to absorb like a magnet. It's going to absorb super fast. Like it's going to absorb. So that's why I think that it's really important. Like if you're targeting something in your body, you might as well do the castor oil packs. Do the
Yeah.
castor oil packs. Use some wool, or you can use cotton. You can use wool. Uh, your preference, right? I personally, the wool is kind of like itchy on my skin, so I'll do cotton. But there was a time where I was using a lot of wool, you know, and you're going to see way better benefits, the benefits of fasting, because when you're not fasting and you do the castor oil packs, one, you're not going to be consistent, because when you're fasting, your brain is like hyper, like it's focused. You're going to be
Yeah.
focused, and you're going to be like, you're doing this for a reason, right? So while you're doing this, you might as well do other things for yourself, right? Most of the time people will do a castor oil pack, they'll do it one time and then they'll never do it again. You're not going to get results. So it's
Mm.
just do it while you're fasting.
Yeah, just make it a part of your nightly routine.
Mm.
And we actually teach Castor packs. It's funny that you mentioned them. We teach it in our 21-day challenge.
Oh wow.
And our 7. Yeah, we just started doing it. So it's the I mean, Castor packs are amazing, period. But then when you couple it with fasting, like you said, you just get so much more out of it. And also the consistency is a huge piece.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And now, you know, there's different ways of there's different ways of doing the castor oil. I think there's like videos and stuff like that, like on TikTok. You said you're teaching it. That's good, because a lot of people, you know, they're not teaching it, or they talk about it, but they don't teach it. So I think that's awesome. Especially for people who have anything, even if you have a fatty liver. Okay.
Mhm.
A lot of people have fatty livers.
Yep.
If you have a fatty liver, you put that over your liver and do the fast. You're going to see results. That fat's going to just like
Fast.
bad.
It'll knock it out quickly. Like, it does not take long.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this is gonna be the last question, because we've been going for a while now. And actually, y'all, I will be back tonight. Me and Steven are gonna be back tonight to do another live stream. So if you guys didn't get your question answered, you can, hop in that live stream. But they're asking, are you 100% alkaline lifestyle?
I will have to say no. Now, the reason for that, because there are some foods out here that are not alkaline. Like, I'll give you an example, like spinach. Spinach is not alkaline, right? That's man-made.
Right.
Sometimes my salads do have spinach in them, especially if I'm out and I don't have that access, then, that's a for sure thing. There was a period where I was completely alkaline, where everything that I ate was alkaline, basically. But as I've gone through my healing process, it's not that I'm not taking it as like, oh, well, now I don't need to do this. No, I do practice it. I do use it as much as possible. I try my very, very best, but there has been times where, it's hard, right? It's extreme. For those of you who have done alkaline diets and have stayed on them and are super consistent, wow, that's all I can say is wow, you guys are amazing. I've tried making alkaline cheesecake.
We all did that.
I've tried all types of different things, but me and my husband had this discussion when we were doing the 30-day fast. We were like, okay, we're going alkaline. We're not going back. We're not. And we watched YouTube. We watched, all types of videos on foods, and okay, what are we going to prep ourselves? Let's try to make this work. Right. And at the end of the day, like, I started seeing like, oh, they're making chickpea flour. They're doing this, and like, I was just like, it's basically all getting processed again. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I was just like, you're either going to eat raw and alkaline, because if you start using all of those flours that are mixed with this and that, and I mean, same thing. So we did vegan. We did vegan, and we tried our best to stay alkaline as much as possible. I will tell you that one of a tea that you can drink that will help your body stay alkaline is hibiscus tea. You definitely would want to drink that. It's very powerful. Very, very, very powerful. When I say alkaline, I mean alkaline.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, vegan is going to be that's basically, and when I say vegan, I don't mean I'm eating Oreos either.
Right.
People get that all mixed up too. You gotta just, the best way to go, if you want your body to heal, you need to put what's good inside your body, rather, even if it's not, if it's something that was man-made, as far as like spinach, There's other fruits and vegetables that are man-made, right? But where you're resourcing your stuff, where you're getting it, is it clean? You know, those types of things are important. And also, you know, staying on it, you know, and trying your best to live at that, you know, at least, even if you're not doing it, but try your best to do as much as you can, even if it's 80% alkaline. That's better than not doing it at all.
Yep.
So if you have that knowledge and you've done your research, you know, for the viewers out there, and you know what alkaline diets look like, and you think you can do it, you should do it. You definitely should. I completely agree with it.
I'm gonna say this. You know, a lot of us got our idea of eating alkaline from Dr. Sebi. And one of the things that he said that most people did not catch or even talk about, his alkaline food guide is a prescription. It's not designed to replace your eating habits for the rest of your life. It's you're sick, you need food that's going to help heal and restore your body. You need to replenish minerals and things of that nature. This is the best, based on his research, this is the best. These are best foods to eat, right? That we can find in our modern society. So it is a prescription. Everybody knows when you have an ailment, you take a prescription. When that ailment goes away or you complete your prescription, you stop the prescription. Now, I'm not saying that you should stop eating alkaline food, but I think it's important to understand that we need to give ourselves grace to adjust our schedule and our eating habits and our lifestyle based on where we are now, where our health is currently, because you guys can't forget that the body is designed to heal. It's designed to handle a certain amount of toxicity. The problem is that we overload it with toxicity. Like we drink toxic water, we eat toxic food, our air is toxic, we're in toxic relationships. That's why we're so sick. When you are in the awareness of eating healthier, drinking clean water, cleaning your food, having healthy relationships, you're creating balance. So if the air is still a little toxic, if you eat a little toxic food, the body can handle that. Okay. So you're sick right now. You need to fix something major. Yeah, do the alkaline diet. When you finish that part of your wellness journey, you can create, like, you know, Jennifer said, maybe an 80-20. That's what I did. You know, if I cook at home, I'm cooking with alkaline. Well, I did incorporate some non-alkaline foods back into my home cooking, but for the most part, I'm using alkaline ingredients. I'm using all those habits I learned with alkaline food. If I go out to a restaurant, I'll eat vegetarian, you know? And so you're going to figure out what's going to work for you. But for now, at the beginning of your health journey, do what's best to fix the current problem. You got a problem going on right now, whether it's obesity, diabetes, fibroids, infertility, etc. Fix that and then work with yourself and figure out what makes sense to be sustainable long term.
Exactly. And for ladies, for those of you who have fibroids, or you're, you know, having some reproductive issues, my suggestion is going to be go vegan. And, you know, and I'm talking about clean, clean vegan, not the Oreos.
Right.
And, you know, be very mindful, like Chris is saying, you know, like in my journey, I did my 21-day fast 8 years ago, 9 years ago. I don't even remember, but years ago. And I went directly into alkaline, and I did alkaline for maybe a good 3 months, you know, real strict. But you know, and then I was like, okay, Jennifer, this is nice. You're staying home, you're cooking, but eventually you got to go back out there. So, you know, and prepping is great for some people. They love to, you know, I'm a person who, it's very hard for me to eat my leftovers. I don't know why. So prepping was really hard for me when it came to like the chickpea. I don't know, just certain things, you know. But if you can just be very mindful about what you're eating, once you do a fast, and what you put back in your body, you're you're going to continue to get results. And even if you join a 21-day fast and you wait like 2 months later and you do another one, keep doing it. You're going to get the results that you want. And most of all, make sure that when you refeed yourself, that you're ready to refeed yourself in a healthy way. You know, that's the whole point of the fast. The whole point for you to reset the mind, the habits that you had before, the sugar, like craving sugar. They say within 21 days, you should be able to break a habit, right? So that's why a lot of us who do coaching and stuff, we do 21 days, because by 21 days, I think you should be able to break a habit. Is that how it goes, Chris?
It's either 21 or 28 days, but yeah.
Yeah, somewhere around there. But, you know, by that time, you should be able to already have an idea like, hey, I'm starting to feel great and I'm no longer eating Doritos, you know,
Right.
or I'm not eating greasy burgers anymore. I'm not eating vegetable oils because, you know, all those, that's all carcinogen. It's cancer, all of it, you know, hot dogs, deli, all of that is all carcinogen.
So
It's
much.
cancer. It's killing our children. It's killing a lot of people. They're not educated, and they're not wanting to get educated. It's not that they're not educated. They don't want to be educated. They're like, well, we only live once. This is our
Yeah.
culture. This is how we eat. Hello. This is not the soil that we have on our ground, and the environment. Everything we're breathing is not what our parents and their parents were breathing. Be mindful. Think about that. Think about your children, and think about the quality and lifestyle you want to have. You know, you
There you
don't
go.
want your children rolling you around in a wheelchair.
Don't
Okay.
be a burden to your children.
No, not at
Yeah.
all. Yeah,
Yeah.
no. You don't, you're not going to want that, you know, and not only that, but you don't want to hear your children call you and say, oh, hey, by the way, I went to the doctor and I was just diagnosed with diabetes. And you're
Right.
like 28 years old, 30 years old, you know. No, we have to show our children, this is our job. Our job is to teach them, you know. It's our job to teach and educate the children, because the schools are not, and you're not going to get that education from work. And the only way you're going to get it, unless you really care about yourself. So, and if you care about your children and your family, then you're going to do it. And so, you know, that's something that I've put in my home. And as a parent, you know, I know better not to bring bad food into my home, and try to make everything that's good for them, you know?
There you go. Remember, generational wealth is not just about passing on resources monetarily speaking, but it's also good genetics as well as good habits. A lot of the issues that we deal with come from environmental stressors, and those environmental stressors we develop through learning from our mom, our grandparents. So make sure that you're passing on true generational wealth, which supersedes just your financial background. If you guys enjoyed this interaction, make sure to hit that like button for us so we understand this is something you guys want to see. If you guys haven't already, if you're new to the channel, subscribe. We've got a ton of great content, so much free resources available. And as well as if you guys want to take it a step further, invest and, you know, basically get the cheat code, then you could join one of our challenges. Natural Blends, she has her challenge, her 21 days with Natural Blend coming up in December. And from what I'm understanding, you do these regularly. So you guys want to go and contact her. Facebook, Instagram, Natural Blends __ on Instagram. And that's all I got for y'all today. As far as right now, I'll be back later. I'm gonna recharge myself. We'll come back later because we have a
Juice.
get some juice.
You're going to need some beet juice for the next.
Some beet. Okay. I got some apples. That's the best I can do. I don't have no beets.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but I actually am gonna do some juice because I've been testing a new product and I need to do it with some juice. But me and Steve will probably be back tonight at like 6. So in about an hour or so. So you guys stay close by. With that being said, the application of knowledge is power. Thanks for joining us. We will see you all on the next one.
Bye.